You're a drone, a catalog, chattel.
What you're afraid of is they'll believe I am God.
You don't need to be God or a fly on the wall to find out the inside info about Bankroll Vault. What you need to do is stick around in this episode of the Side Hustle to Win experience. This is where we get together to discuss issues that you. In this episode, we are going to do a deep dig into Bankroll Vault. We are going to take you into the mind of the developer Bankteller himself. We're going to get an insight into what Bankteller has for his platform, Bankroll Vault token. Now, your boy Side Hustle, I'm going to sneak you in to a conversation that was done behind closed doors. Take a peek behind the curtains between Bankteller and a group of his largest investors. We are going to be a fly on the wall just listening in. Now, I'm going to take you in there through the back, all right? But you got to be extra quiet, okay? I mean, keep this on the hush, just between us on the internet. Don't tell nobody else, okay? This is just for you and my subscribers. Now, if this is the kind of content that you like more of, please like, subscribe, and click on that notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload new content. Now, before I get started, please follow me on Telegram, t.me/sidehustle2win1, and also like my page on Facebook, facebook.com/sidehustle2win1. All right. This conversation, remember, it is deep dig. No, though. Seriously, though, this is from an AMA that Bankteller did have with a group of his largest investors. I will put the link to the full video in the description below. However, it is hosted on Library, so it's not on YouTube. And number two, it is over 3 hours long. Legit. Now, I know what you're thinking. Ain't nobody got time for that. And that's why you subscribe to this channel, right? Your boy Side Hustle, I will break it down to you in that Side Hustle perspective. We're just going to go through the highlights where I thought was of particular interest. And you should too if you're invested in Bankroll Vault or you're thinking about getting into Bankroll Vault. So first, let's go ahead and take a look at the price. We're going to click on trade here. And like I mentioned before, you want to use the official links from the websites themselves because there could be scam tokens out there and you want to make sure you get in the right ones. Now, in my last video about Uniswap potential game changers, I gave you a tip on how to find the USD value of these tokens versus instead of ETH. So if you remember, you can just go ahead and click on ETH and you change it to, let's say, USD, and you pick something like TUSD, which is true USD. That's kind of like Ethereum's version of Tether. And then you put 1 TUSD here, which would be 1 USD. And it'll list you the price of VLT per TUSD, which right now is at 0.648 cents. So after the video when I put out, it was about 3 days ago. And the price of that was the high 20s, low 30s. And it's now gone up to 0.64. So 2x. I know, well, before you say it, no, it's not because I put out the video, the price of the token pumped. Maybe it's because people saw the information in that video and liked it, and then the price pumped. I don't know. If I put out this video here and then the price pumps some more, it's not my fault. But if the price of the token dumps, it's also not my fault. I'm just giving you that information so that you can make your own decisions. So number one, let's get into the first clip from that secret AMA. We're going to get into it now.
Bit about my background. I grew up in Philly. Went to MIT, did consulting for financial services, starting out, and did some MIT startup. Worked some MIT startup. Got a patent. I worked for half my career at State Street in global markets. And worked on foreign exchange trading systems, and then the other part of my career was at Fidelity in personal investing. But before that, I was at Fidelity. I was a CTO of a product called FidSafe, which is still available today. If you go to fidsafe.com.
Okay, so you heard Bankteller say he's straight out of Philly, he went to MIT, and that's a very prestigious school. Worked at Fidelity. That's a big name financial institution. Was CTO of FitSafe. Being CTO, Chief Technical Officer. So I like the fact that went to MIT. It's got real world financial experience. So I like. Now the audio was choppy in the last clip. It does get better, which is why SideHustle is breaking it down for you. Let's go.
Okay. Yeah. So I was originally when I first got into crypto was actually in 2011. I built my own Bitcoin miners. If you go to the Bankroll status account on Twitter, that's where the official announcements are. I actually recently posted some of my original transactions from when I was mining Bitcoin. I was mining 1 Bitcoin a day. I was at the first International Bitcoin Conference in New York City in the summer of 2011. I had lunch right across from Roger Ver.
All right, so you heard Bankteller got into the crypto game by mining Bitcoin. He was mining a Bitcoin a day. Imagine if you can do that now. Crazy, right? Went to the first International Bitcoin Conference, sat across from Roger Ver. So all those are good things. I like the fact that he went from a traditional financial background and transitioned into crypto. So that's good for me. Let's go ahead and get into the next clip.
Is if you understand how the profits in Uniswap are collected, those profits get added basically to the balance for your liquidity. So you have equal parts, of token and ETH. That initial value that a liquidity provider puts in, that floor gets raised as profits are taken. Since the token contract itself is the owner of that initial liquidity, it's never going to take profit. So our profit will always grow. So this is a forever contract because it will never take profit. So the more you use VLT, the more liquidity is added to VLT, because basically the token contract itself is capturing liquidity with the fees and basically always pushing up the floor. There's built-in upward pressure because of this, because the token contract will never take profit. And then once Bankroll Life is added, that's going to put that whole process into overdrive, because what Bankroll Life will do is provide both Ethereum and Vault rewards. And the Vault rewards are going to be created by basically doing a buyback with some of the inbound fees to Life.
Okay, this segment is crucial. So I want to break it down for you in that SideHustle perspective. What he's talking about is, let's pretend the token contract is a whale, right? And the whale bought in at the bottom, right? Bought it when the first contract first started, the token first got launched. And normal whales, once they see the token 10x, 100x, they will sell it, right? They are going to sell it off for profits, thus causing a dump in the price. However, since that whale is the token contract whale will never sell. That sets the floor, right? Whatever price the token contract bought at, it's going to keep it there. And even better, the trading fees from using on Uniswap that gets fed into the token contract will use those fees to keep buying the token. So the more you trade on Uniswap for Vault, the more it buys the Vault tokens, naturally boosting up the price. So that's very important, because if you get that, you now know the token contract whale is a whale that always buy. And like Bankteller said, it's a forever contract. Now, two, the launch of the Life dApp, once it comes, it's going to provide Ethereum and Vault rewards. Okay, so now we get that nitty gritty, that peek into what Vault is and what Life is. When you buy into Life, apparently it's going to use some of those fees to give you dividends in Ethereum, and it's going to boost the Vault token value by buying some Vault. So I like that. Keep that in mind. That's some deep knowledge that just got dropped there. So I like that. Let's get into this next clip, and I want you to listen in carefully, okay?
Exactly. So we're going to talk about that. But like, when we get to next level, like say this Coinbase deal with Uniswap goes through, and if we continue to dot our I's and cross our T's, and Vault ends up on Coinbase.
Oh wow, yeah.
If Vault ends up on Coinbase, I will not only be talking about what Gary Vaynerchuk thinks, he will be managing our marketing campaign. Okay.
Crazy. Wow. Amazing.
Okay. Did you just hear what got dropped there? Listen. Now, Coinbase, we all know what Coinbase is. Huge cryptocurrency, one of the first exchanges. A lot of people use it to buy it, so on and so forth. They're working on a deal with Uniswap. And if that deal works out, a lot of Uniswap tokens could end up being listed on Coinbase. So, and you also heard, if Vault gets listed on Coinbase, Bankteller is going to reach out to Gary. Now, Gary Vaynerchuk, if you don't know who he is, look him up. He's a huge social media influencer. I've seen a lot of his videos. He's very popular. He's got a big, huge following. He will be managing the marketing. So that is huge. I mean, I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but if it does, this token's going to moon. You know what I mean? Let's get into this clip of juicy nugget of info.
This is still the ground floor. Like there's no way around it. It's not even a week old. I got the pumps coming, the dual pumps coming in Credits and Life, which is the same contract. One on ETH, one on Tron, both designed to pump Banker. But basically, the way that the pump's going to work is 6 times a day. It's gonna pool the 1% of transactions coming into Life. It's gonna pool those in 6 times a day. If the amount collected is over a threshold, it's gonna do a buy against the liquidity pool. Right, 100% of that buy. Right.
Yep.
Or think about it this way: 100% of the buys each day are bought and put into a pool internal to Life, and then 2% of that is dripped out. So you got this compounding whale that's slowly loading up the truck on Vault, and then rewarding it back to the Life token holders as rewards. So people say, "Oh, is there going to be Vault staking?" You heard it here first. Not even the Bankroll community knows this. There's not going to be a staking contract because it's not required. Basically, what does a staking contract do? It gives you rewards for that token, for staking that token. But no, you don't have to stake that token. You just hold your token in your wallet. You put extra capital because it's about signpost.
Okay, so you just heard Bankteller said he's got 2 pumps coming. One is going to be Credits and Life, and apparently Credits going to be on Tron, and Life is going to be on Ethereum. And how it works is 6 times a day, it's going to pool the funds together, and if it has enough that goes over a certain threshold, it's going to buy the Bankroll Vault tokens, right? And thus pushing the price up. And then once it does that buy, it's going to 2% of that is going to get be divvied out as dividends to the Life holders. That's what I'm hearing from this particular clip. And you got that lead info. So the way that this works, there's no staking involved. I know in my last video, had a subscriber had asked, "Hey, is there going to be some kind of staking with this?" But it doesn't sound like there will be. Bankteller said the rewards from holding the token is you just have it in your wallet and then you'll be rewarded. So you heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first. Let's get into the next juicy nugget.
You said, Bankroll is a product. My business, the business that pays the taxes and all that stuff, gets paid by Bankroll, the community as a Bankroll community is a customer. Any profit that comes my way from Bankroll gets paid to my LLC. I get paid have a salary. You know, I have a relatively low salary because a lot of the profit is retained in custody. You know, at some point I'm gonna, you know, I mean, the way that custody funds are managed is just like a player. You know, I started with a Bitcoin.
Okay, you just heard Bankteller say he's running it like a business. He treats the Bankroll community like its clients, and they pay. And he also pays to the LLC, which is a an actual business that he runs, and he earns a salary based off of that. So I like that. I like the fact that he's running it as a legit business. If you listen to what he's saying, let's get into the next nugget of info.
Because basically what Life is going to do is it's going to say, hey, entire Ethereum community, if you are simply holding Ethereum in your wallet, if you can give up 10% in ROI in give or take 90 days, let's go crazy. But no. The ROI is actually faster because you're not only getting Ethereum dividends, you're getting dual Ethereum and Vault dividends. And beyond that, there's no Ponzi system. As soon as you put your first Ethereum in, you're going to get the benefit of all these people that have ever joined before. Everyone's getting paid out from a single global pool. And the only difference. What do you say?
Which aspect is this for again?
For life.
So
Everyone's getting paid out from global pools that pay out 2% a day. And so it doesn't matter. Like, so on launch day, for example, for Life, it doesn't matter less, other than like, you know, as the day progresses, the payout in any 24-hour period, right? It progresses throughout the day. So it works its way from 0% to 2% paid out over a 24-hour period.
Mm-hmm.
So on launch day, you don't have to like be there on, you know, at the 0 hour on launch.
Mm-hmm.
You can have dinner with your family, come back, you know, only 0.002% has been paid out in the first 15 minutes of launch. You haven't missed anything, right?
All right, so you just heard the little bit of info about Life. Life is going to be providing you dividends in Ethereum and Vault, and it sounds like you don't have to be, you know, first person in the contract. It's going to pay out what it sounds like 2% a day in dividends, and it's going to slowly drip that dividends as it comes in. So then you don't necessarily have to get in first. You can get in at any time, and you'll enjoy all the benefits from the people that were in the contract already, because everybody's getting paid from the same pooled fund. Let's hear the next clip.
Will be the tried and true 10 in, 10 out.
10% in, 10% out. Nice.
Right. And you'll get
but with
your returns will actually print out at the top. Like, you'll know exactly how much you'll make in a day.
Okay, so you just heard credits 2.0 and Life. It's going to be 10%. There's going to be a 10% fee going in and 10% fee coming out, and then you'll see how much you'll make on your returns at the top of the, I'm assuming, a dashboard. So that gives you a little bit more info about what to expect from credits 2.0 and Life. All right, so I'm going to end the video with this. You heard a lot of exclusive insider info. The last thing I want to do is show a little transparency about Bankteller himself. You see that this is his Patreon page. Shows his face, talks about interview, about Bankroll, the company formation, and taxes. So the guy is trying to run a legit business that pays taxes and pays him a salary. That adds an additional layer of confidence for me, an additional layer of transparency. I always like that. So which parts of that insider info did you enjoy the most? Did you like the fact that you were able to get in behind closed doors and listening in on the developers talking with the group of large investors and getting these inside information? Because if you do, leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know which part did you like the most, or if there was something else that you hope that they covered, because there was a long interview and a lot of questions being asked, but I felt those were the most important ones, right? You be enjoying the content in this video? Here are a few other videos that I think you'd be into. If you have not done so by now, please like, share, subscribe, and click on that notification bell. And as always, leave things better than when you found them and get your hustle on.